Are you guys ready to dive into the real estate market? Let's talk. Let's get into an update. I want to look at last month's numbers. How was the real estate market doing in California, specifically in Southern California? How about on a county level here in Southern California? And what about a city? We're going to look into all of that. We're going to have some fun diving into the numbers. And also, I'm going to share some cool events in the area. I'm going to give some tips and advice to first-time home buyers and first-time home sellers getting into the market here in 2024. We're going to take out a really cool listing that caught my eye. And also, I have an amazing story to share with you regarding a client that I recently helped. She's a first-time home seller, and I just want to share this experience with you. My name is Michelle, and I help first-time home buyers and first-time home sellers save money, and I help them make the process go by smooth. Whether you're buying a new home in 2024 or you're selling your first home in 2024, this video is for you, even if you just want to keep an eye on the market and see what's going on. Welcome, come on in, and let's dive in. You guys, we're in the spring market, second quarter, and the weather is beautiful. I'm loving this hot but kind of gloomy, rainy sometimes kind of weather. Spring. Summer used to be my favorite month. Now, hands down, it's spring, because summer is just, I don't know if it's just me, but summer is getting hot. Like every year it keeps getting hotter and hotter. Southern California, crazy. Okay, so let's get into the market. Let's see what the numbers are. Like I said, we're going to start with California. The reason why I like to break this down is because real estate is really local. You guys are going to notice a lot of information given on the news, and typically it's being spoken about one or two ways. Either they're talking about a national outlook, meaning all of the US states, or on a state outlook, meaning just California as a whole. And real estate is local. Every market is going to be different. Like I recently sold a home in Granada Hills. That market was my property sold within, I want to say it was 4 days. We got offers within 4 days, multiple offers. And a home that I recently sold in Menifee, it took about 3 weeks. Markets are different. Markets are different. So anyway, so we're going to break it down because we want to know, we want to have a big picture. And then we also want to break it down chunk by chunk. So let's start with California. I'm going to look at a couple definitions here, because one thing about me, especially that my audience is first-time home buyers and first-time home sellers, I like explaining things. So, real estate is a whole language on its own, right? And you hear people talking about real estate, and you're like, what are they saying? Can you put it in layman's terms? And so let me go ahead and put a couple of these words in layman's terms for you. We're going to focus on median price and existing sales. So let's get into existing home sales. Existing home sales refers to the sale of homes that has been previously occupied, aka resale homes. And note that this does not include brand new homes. So we're not talking about brand new homes, we're talking about existing homes that are already there. This term is commonly used in real estate to track the number of previously owned homes that are sold within a specific time period. It gives us an idea of how active the housing market is and can indicate the overall health of the real estate sector. Let me break that down a little bit more. When you hear that existing home sales are up, that means that more people are buying homes. When you hear that they're down, fewer homes are being sold. So existing home sales, they're looking at existing home sales are up. Basically, what that means is people are in the market, people are buying homes. Existing home sales are down. That translates to there's not a lot of people buying homes in the market. So keep that in mind. Let's move on to median sales price or median price. Okay, the median stat. There's two different variations of stats in this sector. One is going to be the median stat, and the other is going to be an average stat. So we are going to be looking at median stats. And so basically, it's just like this. On the left-hand side here, we see an average stat. Let's say there's 5 homes in different price ranges. In order to get the average, you add all of these numbers and you divide it by 5, and then you get the average sales price or the average price. On this side here, the median stat, same amount of homes, same sales price, but instead what they do is they sort from lowest to highest and use the middle number. In this example, it's about the same. And typically in the past, when I checked just to see if there's a difference, there's not too much of a difference. So just keep that in mind. We're going to be looking at the very middle numbers with all of the numbers being sorted from lowest to highest. All right, perfect. So we're back here and we're going to look at March. We're going to look at last month. Anytime we look at the data, these types of systems will not look at April. Today is April 27th. They're not going to be looking at this month because the month has not finished. They're going to look at the last most recent month that has completed, and that is March of 2024. So this is the entire sector of California, but we are Southern California. So let's chunk it down, the data to Southern California. Southern California is what we're going to be looking at. And this consists of Orange County, San Diego County, Los Angeles, Riverside, San Bernardino, and Imperial County. In the month of March, 19,000 homes sold in Southern California in that month alone. There has been a negative of 35% existing single family sales growth. So that means not a lot of people purchased homes as a whole in Southern California in March. The median price is $775,000 in Southern California. And there was a negative 3% price growth. That means that home prices went down 3% overall in the month of March. Interesting, right? So we can say that in March, there was less people purchasing homes in March, and home prices went down about 3% in March. On average, it's taken about a month to sell a home. And 32% of the homes out of 100, 32% of them sold for over the list price. Interesting. Why do you guys think that is the case? Well, I'll give you a spoiler alert. Interest rates have been going up. And when interest rates go up, that means your payments are going up. We're going to get into that in a little bit, but that's one big reason is the interest rates. Now let's dial it down by counties. And we're going to look at the counties that I serve: Orange, Riverside, Los Angeles, and San Bernardino. Actually, just a few cities in San Bernardino, but let's look at that as a whole. So let's look at Orange County. And all of the data, again, we're only looking in March. So pretty similar, right? There is 30% negative growth in Orange County as a whole. The median price is 1.1 million and negative 5% median price growth. So prices are going down a little bit in Orange County, or they did in March. They did on March, about a month to sell. And so pretty much California and Orange County is pretty much the same with the exception of the median sales price. Let's take a look at Los Angeles. How did Los Angeles do? Wow. Okay. So we are seeing an overall trend: 5,991 homes sold, existing homes, resale homes sold, negative 32% growth. Home prices are going down. There's not a lot of people that purchased. Median sales price is $887,000. And the price growth, actually, this is negative 6% price growth. So home prices in Los Angeles are going down. There's not a lot of buyer activity there. Interesting, about 30 days to sell a home on average. And homes, about 37% of the homes are selling for over list price. That means less than 50%. So we're seeing a lot of price reductions. Very interesting. Riverside. Where's Riverside at? Wow, pretty much the same. 39,000 homes sold in Riverside, negative 34% sales growth. Not a lot of buyers here, not a lot of homes being sold here, as opposed to, and by the way, to reiterate, local sales year to date growth. So this is as of last year. So these numbers are as of last year. So in comparison to last year, there are less homes being sold. There's 34% less homes being sold. The median price in Riverside is 687,780, and there's a negative 5% growth. So, and homes are selling on average in about 30 days. It's only 33% over the list price. So far we're seeing a trend with the exception of the median price. Last one, let's take a look at San Bernardino. Okay, a little bit of difference here. So, 2,721 homes sold last month. There is a negative 45% growth from last year. Almost half, almost half of the buyers that were there last year are not there this year. So there's not a lot of people purchasing a home. Median sales price is 490. And home prices stayed about the same because there has not been any growth or any negative growth. So home prices have stayed about the same. It's taken about 41 days to sell a property there, and about 31% of the homes are selling over list price. So there's definitely a trend here going on. Let's take a look at Southern California as a whole. One more time. Yeah, we're seeing a trend here. All right, so let me break it down by city, and we're going to choose a city. These are the 19 cities that I serve here in Southern California. I do, however, just a sidebar, I do make exceptions for some cities. So, as always, just ask. Send me a request. I do make accommodations. But overall, here are the cities, the 19 cities that I do serve. Let's pick one and comment down below, what city would you like me to focus on next month? Comment down below. Okay, but for me, I'm going to go with Fullerton. Let's take a look at Fullerton's numbers. Okay, so now we're getting super local. And by the way, we can get even more hyper local because whenever I take listings, we are going to go ahead and look at the city as a whole, just as we are here. But I really dial it down in the MLS, the multiple listing service, by neighborhood. So it even gets condensed a little bit more, but we're not going to do that here. But just a sidebar, we have to take more steps to kind of narrow down and zoom in into the specific neighborhoods, because within cities, as you know, there's different neighborhoods. But either way, let's take a look at the city Fullerton as a whole. Check this out. Look, it's in a strong seller's market. We just saw on a state level and in a county-wide level, it appears to be more of a buyer's market, right? Because there's not a lot of buyers in the pool, and home prices have went down a little bit. So it seems like it's kind of shifting into a buyer's market. But check it out. When we go in super local and let's take a look at Fullerton, it's a strong seller's market. This month is a little bit stronger than last month. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so let's look at the stats here. The median list price here is 1.3, let's say 1.4. Price per square footage is 613. And by the way, don't look at price per square footage to price properties. That's just it's not accurate. But you know, a lot of people like to look at that as more of like a trend where you can see ranges. But look at this. Average days on the market, 67 days. This right here is really important to know. Pro tip, if you're looking to sell or purchase a property, um 67 days. So to set that expectation, hey, if I need to sell in June, I may want to list my property a couple months in advance because I know that the market is moving slow in Fullerton. This is good for pre-planning. If you guys are thinking about selling, I would talk to a realtor 6 months in advance to see exactly where the market is once again in your immediate area. Check this out. Median days on the market 14, average is 67. Okay. 12% decreased their list price. 2% increased their list price. 7% relisted. The median rent is 3,650. That is good to know. And then here it even breaks it down by square footage and lot size and bedroom and bathroom count. Look at, do you know what's okay? So here's all right. This is when we really dive into the numbers. The average 67, when you look at the different price points in Fullerton, it's taking longer to sell the homes over 2.1 million than it is homes being sold in 1.5 and below. Homes that are priced at 1.5 and below are selling in 7 days. So here is another key indicator. Wow. And that's pretty typical with higher priced properties. Those typically take a little bit longer to sell, which is why we definitely have to look at all of the data within the specific neighborhoods, because that's going to be a whole different neighborhood in Fullerton. Do you guys like learning about this kind of stuff? I love diving into these numbers and really getting to know different areas and so forth. I think it's a lot of fun. Next, let's talk interest rates. Remember last year in 2023, specifically around October, interest rates were creeping to about 8%. Oh my gosh. They were so high. Many people were saying the market's going to crash. You remember that? The market's going to crash. And they were comparing it to the Great Recession of the 1980s. And then fast forward to now, the market didn't crash. So it kind of feels like we're in uncharted waters. Now in 2024, rates are definitely not at 8%. They've went down a little bit. They've been pretty stable from January 2024 to now. We're now at the end of April. 7%. I've seen them go down a little bit to 6%, the high sixes, but we've been pretty stabilizing at 7%. And that's really been a hindrance on some people that need to move, right? Because a lot of people, a lot of people have either a 2% interest rate or a 3% interest rate, and lives. People get divorced, people pass away, and the house needs to be sold, or people expand their families. There's empty nesters, people just get married and they need to purchase a home. Like there's so many different milestones that happens in people's lives that would trigger them to say, okay, well, we need to purchase a home or we need to sell the home. And because of interest rates and where interest rates have been, they've just kind of been on halt. The thing that I have noticed though, and that's 2023. The thing that I've noticed coming into this year is those people are tired of waiting. They're tired of waiting. So what do they say? You guys have heard this on social media and on the news. They say what? Date the rate and marry the house. So, if you can afford the payments at that payment, then that's wonderful, because it's just going to be going down from there. So, that's definitely something that people, if they have to move, they're definitely going to be making that move. And I'm seeing a lot of people coming out of the sidelines and saying, you know what, we can't wait anymore. We got to do this. And so that's what I'm seeing in my local market. All right, so now let's dive into some tips and some advice. Let's start with my first time home buyers. All right, so you've just decided that you would like to purchase a home. The very first thing that you're going to want to do is connect with a realtor. Connect with the realtor and then get some referrals, because the first thing that's going to be on your to-do list is to get pre-approved. So you're going to want to get a few referrals from that realtor so that you can get a few home loan pre-approvals. You're definitely going to want to shop it around and get a couple different opinions. So make sure that you get a home loan approval. And by the way, I made a video about closing costs that I'll go ahead and link in the description for you as well if you guys want to check it out. It's a thorough and detailed video about closing costs and what to look for when you guys get your loan disclosures and your loan estimates and all of those things. So definitely check that out and get educated in that area so that when you do receive them, you know exactly what you're looking at. All right, my home sellers, my first time home sellers, think about the first impression that your home gives to potential buyers. Quick fixes like a coat of paint or decluttering can make a huge difference those two things. Definitely, definitely consider those. For sure do the decluttering, but definitely consider painting because that's a low cost item that can make a big difference. Next, I want to show you this home in Chino that I came across. I think it's super cute and it was just listed a couple days ago. All right, so here it is. And by the way, this is the MLS. You guys are getting a sneak peek view into the MLS on my end, on a realtor's end. So this right here, this is 6930 Silverado Street in Chino. Okay, let's take a look at the pictures. Okay, so right away, I'm going to tell you right now, most people are going to be turned off about this property just because this home sits super close to the neighbors. Like if you're someone that does not like that, this property is not going to be for you. But if you don't mind, I like this property because it's affordable for the bedroom count and the size of the property. And it's built in 2018. So it's 699,000. It's a 4 bedroom, 3 bathroom home and 2,267 square feet, you guys. All right, so let's take a look at the pictures. You see what I'm saying? You see how close it is? It's super close. Again, this is going to turn off a lot of people, but there are going to be some people that don't mind that. And the reason why, again, I'm featuring this property is because of the size of the home. You get more bang for your buck, as you know, when you go out further east. So this is one of those properties. Again, it's a really good size. So let's take a look. And I like it that I like that it's new. Colorful, right? Would you guys like a rug like that or no? What do you guys think? And I like the way that they staged it. So also take a look at this property for my first time home sellers, of how they decorated it and how they staged it. They decluttered it. And one tip too is to remove your pictures from the wall. You want to have a clean space, maybe some decorative picture frames here, but less is more. Less is more because you want to get the house ready to have other people walking in, to get inspired so that they can move in, right? Because when there's pictures of yourselves and your families on the wall, they're coming into your home versus coming into a home that they can make theirs. But look at it, isn't it beautiful? And I love the island and just the bright white colors in here. And here's the side of the house. This might be the back. I can't tell. I think it's probably the back of the house. So you're not getting land here in this property, quote unquote. This is all house, all house. And it's fairly new as well, too. There's carpet there. If you guys are into carpet, there's looks like there's carpet upstairs, and it looks like this is a laundry room here. So I'm going to put a link to this property if you guys want to check it out. I'm going to put a link to this property, but let's take a look to see how much the HOA is. See, HOA is only 160, let's say 168 per month on this one here. So it's really nice. And this is one of the properties again that I wanted to show you guys. Okay, so this is a property that I'm selling. It's pending right now. And I actually helped my client purchase this home almost exactly 5 years ago. And I wanted to share something with you. So let's take a look at the days on the market. We originally listed the price at 653,000. And what we did here was we kept bringing the price down until we got to the sweet spot. So 2 weeks, we were at 653. Then we went to 623. A week later, we went to 598. And this right here, this was the sweet spot. We got about 7 showings within 2 days. We got an offer within 3 days, and we went under contract from let's see, what is that, 5 days? We went under contracts in 5 days. And this is not sold, it's still pending, but I'll tell you, we're going to be selling this in a couple of days for 630,000. So I want to give you guys a tip. Moving forward, I'm going to be pricing my properties about 8% below market because unfortunately, like that those buyers could have came in when we had it at 623, right? You would think because they're buying it for 630. They could have came in at 623, but for whatever reason they didn't. And they came in at 598 and they went ahead and priced it up all the way to 630. It's something else, but when you price your properties lower, this is when you start getting multiple offers. And by the way, their terms are amazing. So the success story in here, and I know it looks like, well, how could you say it's a success story, Michelle? Because you priced it at 653, even at 630, you're selling, there's like a negative 20,000. And yes, that is correct. But this was just the list price. At the end of the day, we don't know what the home is going to sell for. The market will determine that. The homes sell for what sellers are willing to sell the home for and what a buyer is willing to pay. When we list properties, we're just testing the market out. And the good news is that she didn't leave any money on the table because she knows that 653 was a number that was not attainable in today's market. Again, interest rates, right? It just wasn't attainable in today's market. So she knows without a shadow of a doubt that she's not leaving any money on the table. But at the end of the day, she came back all the way to 630. So she's super happy about that. But I wanted to share that kind of like case study with you guys. If you guys are thinking of selling, this is definitely something good to consider. I'm definitely going to be recommending we go about 8% under list price to get you some quick offers, to get you the best terms, and to genuinely drive that price upward to what a buyer is willing to pay for that property. You guys, sign up for my Real Estate Inner Circle newsletter. This is where I post about homes, real estate news, videos, and useful tips. We're going to get into the events. And so I also post the events here and I have links to them here. Sign up for my monthly e-newsletter. I go over lots of great information and we talk about the mortgage rates, the current market, and I give it some tips and some videos. This one here is a $15,000 grant. You don't have to pay back. There's a flyer here. So sign up for it. There's going to be a link in the description where you guys can join. All right, so let's get into the first one. You guys, are you guys going to be going to the LA County Fair? This one is coming up. It's for the whole month of May. Let me look at the website. Let me look with you guys because I want to go to one of the concerts. Do you guys go to the concerts when you guys come? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the events together. This is something that I told my daughter I wanted to do. So let's look together. Okay. Ooh, there's TLC. And on Netflix, there's a TLC documentary. Ooh, Ramon Ayala. I think I'm going to do this one, you guys. T.I. Who else? Pat Benatar. Parmalee. I don't know them. Jimmy J. Walker. Is he like a comedian? Dustin Lynch. Banda Maguey. Ooh, that's another good one. Okay. Oh, Los Tucanes de Tijuana. I'm confused. I don't know which one I want to do. I'm gonna have to let my family figure that out, but I know that there's three potentials for us to go to. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Oh, look at CeeLo Green is gonna be there too. Oh, with TLC. Okay, so this one's gonna be in May. And then Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, by the way. Happy Mother's Day. What other holidays are in May? We have Cinco de Mayo and Memorial Day too. Here's something to do for mom. Long Beach Mother's Day premiere brunch cruise. Okay, look, here are the details. It's 2 hours. You have a brunch buffet. You can view the dining menu, unlimited mimosas for those who like to enjoy some mimosas, live entertainment, scenic Long Beach views, and there's a semi-formal attire dress code. That sounds like a lot of fun. So that's something to do for mom or with mom. And then Cinco de Mayo, I'm sure there's a lot of things going on, but this one kind of caught my eye. This is in Ontario, and it's just like a little market that they have, the Pura Vida Market. 30 vendors, food, plants, chamoy. I don't know what that is. Clothing, jewelry. So it's like a little venue. Let's take a look. This is their Instagram page. Look at, see, so you guys can have an idea. It's just like a little strip where there's a bunch of stuff, and there's going to be a bunch of like tacos and things like that, face painting for the kids in Ontario. It's free to go in, free entry, hourly raffles, and they're going to have mariachi, dance performance at one, mariachi. So just, something to do during the daytime and maybe get some tacos there. All right, guys, so that is it. I hope you like this quick market update, some insights. I hope you like that property. Again, check out the description for all of the links. And if you like this video, give me a like, share this video with somebody who would be interested in receiving any of the information that's in here, and subscribe, join the community, come on in, check out my playlist specifically for first-time home buyers and for first-time home sellers and for homeowners that are currently in the property. I like doing updates there too. And you guys, come connect with me. Follow me on Instagram, Michelle Cali Realtor 1111. Let's connect. As always, whether you're looking to purchase a home, sell a home, or just get some advice, I am here for you. Real estate is a journey, and I am happy and honored to be on it with you. Have a fantastic month. Take lots of care, and I will see you on the next video.